how do you think hip hop transitioned from 90s to 2000s to 2010 and onwards, do you think?
I think
Like maybe we could think of some of the main inspirations throughout each era.
sure, that
Course,
sounds good.
90s Pac, Biggie, of some Jay-Z. 2000s there'll definitely be Kanye, 50
Yeah,
Cent
Kanye,
for sure. Kanye,
50
50
Cent,
Cent. So
right?
like before it was like NWA, right? Like they were a lot about like gangster rap, being from the ghetto, being from the hood, and
Real authentic gangster rap.
yeah.
Yeah, dude.
What like I'm not sure of this as much, but when do you think, you know, hip hop really became mainstream? Like, is it a certain artist? Was it really just a transitional thing that took a lot of time? Because now hip hop is considered the most mainstream music. I mean, like
Oh yeah.
back in the day, there's like a lot of bands like Offspring, Limp
Like
Bizkit,
punk
and
and
stuff
pop
like that.
music,
Yeah,
right? The
pop
punk
music
music,
that would show on
rock music.
MTV, and MTV would probably be the main platform for these artists to be
Yeah.
showcased, right?
Basically, if you made it on MTV, you're mainstream. Basically, you made it
So,
in that
do you
sense.
think maybe it could have been even like Eminem that really helped, like, really
Yeah,
helped this
I I
transition?
think I think he had a crucial impact on hip hop. Like it's I think it's really like, yeah, undeniably, man. He was a trailblazer in his own right. But there was two things for him. First of all, it was his way of rapping, because I think there was rappers which had this whole approach of making very like, you know very complex, structures, and you know having, changing up things, changing up beats the whole time, and having a lot of different themes. And but she was, I feel like, one of the first rappers who ever had like an alter ego. And honestly, let's face it, he was one of the first white rappers who are really like mainstream, who made it like
Right,
that,
right, right.
and so he had an impact, I feel, just like by his, like, by really like cracking the surface, on diversity. Nowadays, man, it's nothing uncommon anymore to see. There's
Yeah,
Korean rappers, right, who come, like, some of them famous and internationally, right? And there's rappers from Italy, from France, like, and France is like the third biggest hip hop community in the world. And to that time, nobody knew that. And I feel like Eminem really, he paved the way for a lot of people, in the sense that people really didn't care about skin color, because if his skills are so, they are raw, they're great, then people will just listen to you. And I think he proved that to everyone. It's very inspirational. But at the same time, I don't want to make everything about his skin color. Like him himself as a rapper, like Marshall Mathers, Eminem, he brought like his own brand of hip hop to the table, I feel like. And having a lot of very complicated and profound, like really integrated kind of lines in within. And he would like do different things, like put the rhyme in the beginning and make it rhyme with the end, and then the next bar is beginning again. And sometimes he would take a word or like a couple of words in the middle, and he will make them rhyme with the next bar's middle again. Like he had a lot of like, I feel like he really honed the craft of hip hop, and he even talked about it too. Like,
yeah,
um, he talked about how he is really like obsessed with the craft of rap itself, not just with um the message itself. And yeah, I really think he, in his very own right, he put his name on the map, and he changed hip hop. And when you said about different time eras, I think like, yeah, bro, I think like mainstream. I think like I'm very conflicted about the term mainstream too, especially nowadays, because I mean, like, we talk about MC Hammer, right? MC Hammer, like, in his own right, he was mainstream too, right? Because
right.
a lot of people used to hate him, right, back then, because they're like, oh my god, what's this guy? Like, he's he's being like a funky rapper, he's a pop rapper. But now, like, if you just like fast forward a couple of decades in the future, even just a decade in the future, people love him. Oh my god, this guy is amazing. He's a revolutionary. He was like a prophet of his time. So I think like, yeah, mainstream is whatever is popular, right? Whatever is
Mm.
popular in pop culture, if it's
Wouldn't
music,
you
if it's
say it's
movies.
like reaching the top in the Billboard charts?
Yeah, I would
The most
I would
popular.
say that's not what defines it. It's not what it solely defines it, but I think it's one part of it. Because the billboards are being a reflection of the sales, right? And how many people listen to your music, and how
Right,
how
right.
many people you reach. So I think it's not what it entirely defines it, but I definitely do think that it's billboards are part of that. And
The way I
yeah,
see it is that
mm,
in the case of rap, most of it, a lot of it was, it had roots within like the African American community, at
yeah,
least
yeah, that's
American
the
rap.
origin, right?
That's how it really started, and most of it, like most of the really famous rappers we know are African American, at least
Yeah,
the most you know influential ones across the world. But the
yeah,
way I
they
see it
brought
is,
the base
I really do believe that it was Eminem that brought rap really into mainstream because he was first of all Caucasian rapper, which made rap so much more appealing to Caucasians and other races rather than
Yeah,
just African Americans, and that's how he was able to increase the reach of this music to so many other people. And like music like Lose Yourself in the movie 8 Mile, that just like blew the entire world. That
it
was
won an
just
Oscar, right,
incredible.
for
Yeah,
best soundtrack or something. Yeah,
best Oscar. Even when I'm talking about it, I get some like goosebumps. But
yeah, it's
man,
insane. It's a crazy piece of work.
Eminem was is you there nobody ever could replicate him. And
Yeah,
even more than Tupac, I really feel that Eminem made it so that other races can join in this like hip hop community, at least
I agree.
in America, right?
Yeah, because like there was white rappers before, right, in the 80s and 90s too, like like Vanilla Ice and stuff like that, but they were not like considered their format. It was not nothing of the same experience and the same product of what like Afro American rappers put out to that time, right?
I agree.
It was very like loose and easygoing, and it was very light, light to digest kind of stuff, like Ice Baby and all their songs,
Right,
um
right.
it was very funky. It had more of like a Run DMC style to it, I feel like. But you're right, I feel Eminem was like the rapper you could like his stuff, like it was as authentic as from anyone else, and like you
Definitely.
said, like he impacted so many people, and he inspired people from all races internationally to to get into hip hop. And me myself too, the way I said, my first rapper I listened to was Slim Shady, Eminem, Slim Shady. And yeah, it really affected me because I really liked it. And then after that, I heard about Tupac and Biggie, but after that, from other kids in my school, they lectured me. They basically educated me on Tupac and Biggie, Bone Thugs and Harmony, and like a lot of different rappers from this time era. And then I listened to them too, but like Eminem will always have a special place in my heart